How to enforce a mediation agreement. Imagine settling a workplace dispute smoothly and then wondering how to make sure everyone sticks to what they agreed on. That's where enforcing a mediation agreement comes into play. When a dispute is resolved through mediation, the goal is to create a clear, binding plan that both sides follow. But what happens if one side doesn't keep their word? Enforcing the agreement is the next step to keep things on track. First, the agreement must be a proper contract. It needs to have mutual consent, meaning both parties agree on all important parts. It also needs consideration, which is something of value exchanged, like a promise to do or not do something. Lastly, both parties must have the legal ability to sign the agreement. Once these rules are met, enforcement becomes possible through legal channels. In workplace disputes, mediation agreements are often written down and signed by everyone involved. Having a signed document shows everyone agreed to the terms and intends to follow them. It's best if the agreement clearly states it is binding and enforceable. Vague or incomplete terms can make enforcement harder, so all essential details should be included. If the dispute is part of ongoing legal action, the parties can file the signed agreement with the court. When the court approves and incorporates the agreement into a court order, it becomes easier to enforce. If someone breaches the agreement, the other party can ask the court to step in. They do this by filing a motion or petition asking the court to make the other side comply. The court will review whether the agreement meets contract standards and if the parties intended it to be binding. Sometimes, a party might claim they signed the agreement under pressure or coercion. Courts will look into the circumstances to see if the agreement was made freely and voluntarily. If it was, enforcement can proceed. In labor and employment cases, enforcement might involve additional steps. Agencies like the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service may get involved, especially if the dispute relates to collective bargaining or union issues. To make enforcement easier, it's smart to draft clear, specific terms during mediation. Keep records of all communications and signed documents. If enforcement becomes necessary, consulting with a lawyer experienced in labor law can help you file the right motions quickly. Remember, having a well-drafted, signed, and complete agreement is the best way to ensure it can be enforced if needed.